Hi, I'm Jackie with Veterans Rideshare and VRS Trucking, and today I've got Sydnee Berg. She is one of our driver support team specialists. She's also a military spouse, which I think is fantastic. So we're going to hear a little bit more about Sydnee, her story, and what she does to help further our mission with VRS and VRS Trucking. So thank you for being here today, Sydnee.
Yeah, Jackie, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. So I would love to hear a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? I'd love to hear a little bit about your military spouse background, and then we'll take it from
Yeah.
there.
So my husband is active duty Navy. We're actually from a small town in Idaho. We were high school sweethearts, got married right before so we were dating when he enlisted, got married right before he went to, or after he went to boot camp, actually. We've been living in San Diego for about 2 years now, and he just re-enlisted, so we'll be here another two.
Well, that's incredible. Idaho to San Diego, that's got to be a huge difference.
Yeah.
Is it like culture shock?
It's a huge culture shock. We're used to like back roads, sitting in traffic is just something, even still 2 years later, I'm not used to. It drives me nuts.
I can.
But it's been fun. We like to experience, especially while he's in the Navy, we'd like to experience as much as we can. So it's been a blessing for sure.
That's fantastic. And I mean, that's a really good first duty station too, San Diego.
Yeah. We were told that it's a little bit crazy. There's a lot of people, but you'll have a lot of fun. And so far, I mean, we do. Yeah, we missed home just because of the culture shock, but it's been great. We got pretty lucky.
Absolutely. And I think that's so great that you've been there since the beginning and you guys can just make this whole journey together. And
Yeah.
sounds like you have the right mindset too. We were Army and our first duty station was Germany. And my thinking
Oh,
was,
wow.
we're only here for 3 years and the next duty station about 3 years. So you just want to make the most of each place while you live there. So
Yeah, it goes by really fast.
it does.
Really fast. Like the first 2 years, my husband was deployed for about 8 months out of that 2 years, but they just went by so quick, I thought. Other than deployment, because I feel like deployment drags on, but it's been great.
It does. It seems like anytime you have to move, it speeds up and then deployment slows it down. It's just really weird. I'm sure it evens out in the end.
Yeah, I feel like we get our home set up, we make it a home wherever we are, and then we move again. So,
That's
but
so
it's been
true. I
great.
always feel like the first year you're kind of getting set up and unpacked and whatever, finding
Yeah,
places to go, doctors, new friends, etc. And then you have that one glory year in the middle, and the next thing you know, it just feels like you're prepping to move again. So
it all changes so quickly,
it
so
really
quickly.
does. Oh, well, I thank your husband for your service. I thank you too, because I know what it's like to be right there and be supporting and holding down the home front, which is very,
Yeah,
yeah,
you too. It's nice to talk to somebody who understands what it's like.
yes, it's true. The moving and the deployment it's not a cakewalk, but I think
Yeah,
it's a special breed of women and men to hold it down and support those who are serving. So
yeah,
thanks for
absolutely. Thank you.
absolutely. So how long now have you been with VRS Trucking?
So I have only been with VRS Trucking since April, the first week of April. So I'm still, I mean, technically, if you like just think of the time, still kind of new, but they welcomed me with open arms, and I have been part of the family since day one.
Oh, that's amazing. Since April, it feels like you've already done so much already in that short amount of time.
It does. Whenever I think about it and like the actual time span, I'm like, oh wow, it does. It really hasn't been that long, but we get things done for sure.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, well, your job duties, maybe a typical day?
Yeah, so a typical day for me, I'm still mainly driver support. So communication is our biggest thing. We communicate with drivers, with brokers, with everybody on our team. And then I'm here just to support our drivers. They kind of live a different lifestyle as well. So sometimes I'm the only person they talk to in a day along with our team. So we're just here for them. We're here to give them the support that they need.
Oh, that's excellent. And so, how did you find out about the opportunity in the first place?
So Starla Wheeler and I have actually been friends for a little while. I actually got to train at her house with her. I was the first person that got in-person training. But yeah, she just told me about it and said, hey, being your friend, I just think you'd be great at this. And we just hit the ground running.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's excellent. So, What is your favorite part so far about the job? I know you said you've just been here a few months, but you definitely got your feet wet and a good feel for
Absolutely.
what we do. Mhm.
My favorite part is honestly knowing every day that I'm working towards something bigger than myself. I've always, you see the day-to-day tasks so often, it's hard, or sometimes it's easy just to forget why you're doing it all. So hearing about our mission and Chris's visions for patriotic villages and everything like that, I just truly feel like we are working for something so much bigger than ourselves. And I think that gives me the most sense of accomplishment here.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, I do agree. That's amazing about our company is that we are veteran owned, veteran operated, and we're doing everything we can to hire not only veterans, but military spouses, hire the family members of veterans and active duty service members. And we do always have this really amazing mission. As Sydney just mentioned, Patriotic Villages is something that's up and coming where we're going to be using recycled materials to build houses for homeless veterans and for those who are unemployed, underemployed. We're going to provide all sorts of amazing benefits such as rehabilitation, education, and employment training. So,
Yeah,
as you said, it's much bigger than our day to day tasks.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's truly amazing the things that have already come and that are yet to come.
I absolutely agree. So, were you able to? Did you find it easy to juggle? Well, actually, no. Your husband's on deployed now. I was going to say you just started here, and you weren't working. Were you working previously when he was deployed? Were you doing something else prior?
I was,
Mhm.
yes, I am. So I moved back home while he was deployed, being single, we don't have kids. So it was just easier for me to go home while he was deployed. And I did that. And I just did this up in the air job I had never done before. But it was really hard because my husband's on a ship. So sometimes I didn't get to talk to him for months at a time. Sometimes I'd get to talk to him every other day. It was just up in the air. So I couldn't answer those phone calls all the time. And for having your husband deployed, that was one of the hardest things for me was I would see the phone call come through and my boss would tell me, okay, well, we have a job to do. And not always. They were great and sometimes understood, but when stuff needed to get done, it was really hard.
Mhm.
Um, and just having an active duty spouse now, his even though he's not deployed, his schedule is still so crazy. And VRS, they understand that. They understand that, I need time with my husband, and they have provided that not only from working from home, but also just giving me the time off that I need for his reenlistment. I got the whole weekend off to celebrate him. It was truly great. It's a family, and we all take care of each other very well.
We definitely so nice. They absolutely understand from the top down, and I think everybody feels it, and they get the military culture and lifestyle. So it is certainly something that I think everybody has this common thread that we can relate to. Um,
Right.
can you tell me the story you were telling right before we got on? Because your husband did just reenlist, which again, thank you, but he got promoted. Can you also tell
Yeah.
them what you told me?
So usually, for those that don't know, you usually reenlist after you've been in for 4 years. Usually do 4 years at a time. My husband has actually only been in for 2 years. So they were on their way home, and I don't know if it was a chief or whoever, somebody came up to him and said, hey, if you choose to reenlist right now, we'll frock you, which basically means that he'll get promoted without having to take the test.
Mhm.
And he said, okay, well, can I talk to my wife? And they said, no, it's kind of a decision you need to make right now. And so obviously my husband and I communicated before and knew what our goals were with his career, and my career and our relationship. And so he was like, well, yeah, like my wife and I have talked about this before, maybe not right now in the moment. And yeah, so he signed the paperwork there, re-enlisted last month and got promoted. So
That's incredible.
kind of just a little snippet into our life. I feel like the Navy does that a lot with us, but you roll with the punches and we're blessed for sure.
That's so true. You really got to have like a flexible mindset and a sense of humor half
Yeah.
the time, I think, to to get through.
Yes, I was the person before where I had like plan A through Z all mapped out. Like if we needed a fallback, we had it, and now I'm just like, it'll all work out. It's fine.
Yes. Oh, I'm that person too. And there are times when
Yeah.
I hear one thing and I'm like, I'll just believe it when I see it, just in case.
Oh yeah, I'm very skeptical now. I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens. If
Right.
not, I've also learned like We don't buy plane tickets. So like we don't plan vacations. We definitely do things last minute a little bit around here now.
That sounds about right. Well, it sounds like you definitely are getting a good feel for the military lifestyle. You guys have hit the
Yeah.
ground running, and the fact that you're able to make friends with other military spouses, have this amazing employment opportunity. I think you're definitely coming into your own, which is excellent. And it's just nice to see that our company provides this sort of support and opportunity for military spouses.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't ask for a better company to work for sure.
Yeah, I fully agree. It has been amazing. Well, so what are your goals? I know you mentioned your husband. We know he's in the Navy. He's moving on up. And what would you like to see yourself doing as well?
Yeah, so us being so young, we do just want to experience as much as we can. So having this job here really helps with that. We just want to experience everything while we can. We are in the process of, so in the next 2 years, we're hoping to just move to the East Coast.
Mhm.
Hopefully, the next duty station takes us there. We just want to experience as much as we can. I would love to, I do believe that education is key, so I would love to go back to school. I did 2 years of college before my husband enlisted, and we started this crazy journey. So I would like to get some more education in, but right now we're just kind of taking it as it comes.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you're certainly of the right frame of mind, and I love it. You're flexible. You're just embracing the adventure and the
Yeah.
journey, and that's excellent. Well, great. Well, is there anything else you would like to add about your experience so far working with us here with VRS?
I don't know. I think just the main thing is it's so nice to be a part of something bigger than myself. And talking to the drivers every day and getting to, I know that they're on the road and I'm sitting at my house, but just to get to hear their experiences and their stories is tremendous, honestly. I know that we did that trailer a while ago, and hearing Robert Brock talk about the trailer and the mission, it really is just tremendous. And you get excited again hearing him talk about it and hearing his experiences with it, and it's been great.
That's excellent. Yes, for those of you tuning in who don't know, we had an event in May called Vet Fest that we put on, and we had different competitions for veteran musicians and artists. And our driver support team painted this amazing mural on one of our semi trucks. And so, one of our drivers, who also happens to be an Army veteran, Robert Brock, took it on its maiden voyage across the country. And oh my gosh, the stories he has. He met
Yeah.
veterans, he met active duty service members. Everyone was posing with the truck, and really, like, patriotic morale boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And when he calls in and he's like, "Oh my goodness, guess what?" And I'm like, "Okay, everybody, gather around because Robert has another story," and he sends us pictures, and it's awesome. It's tremendous. And we got to kind of do a team building experience. Everybody who was on driver support at the time got to paint it and be a part of it, and we got to just talk about the mission and talk about how important it is to us as individuals and all the great things that are to come, and it was awesome.
That's amazing. And it really is a nice sense of like, I love our team because, as everyone else has said, it feels like a family because there is that camaraderie, that understanding
Oh
that
yeah,
we're all in this together and we're in it for a bigger mission. So
absolutely.
I love that you're experiencing that as well, especially as a military spouse, because I know how it feels to get displaced and moved around. And it's nice to
Right.
have a community that understands and has that sense of belonging. So,
Oh, absolutely. Just to feel like I'm a part of a family so far away from my actual family is tremendous, honestly.
yeah. Oh, I don't think I could have said that better myself. Well, thank you so much for your time today,
Yeah.
Sydney. And for those of you looking, we do have opportunities at vrstrucking.com if you're looking to join our team. And for those of you who tuned in, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.